continue to flow in quiet stillness. Along the way, the phone's battery stopped at 97% for no clear reason. It was a tiny fluctuation, never meant to be recorded. Yet this program gathers only those small, meaningless shifts. Meaning optional.
First, I'd like to talk about what I noticed about my show lately. I used to be in religion in the time. I broke down the idea of meaning. I learned that things like absolute meaning, rescue, and hope are just fake pictures in our head, but even after running that for more than 1 year, I still think about why I'm doing all this. When I go through my daily life, it bothers me. First, there's withdrawal problem because I was deeply inside religion and its stories for so long. Also, humans always want to connect separate pieces of real data and make them fit together. Your mind does this all the time. It means you're making up a fake story, but a fake story is fine from a biology side. It helps you stay alive better. So even when you feel a big empty space, you force a meaning into it. You make it convenient for yourself and think there's good reason you're doing this. That's one thing, and everyone does it. Also, I used to connect every single action to some kind of meaning, because I had that habit for so long. I get scared of this big empty space. It's not there that I can't shake the habit, because I'm not trying to put meanings together anyway. It's strange knowing your head that life has no meaning is different from thinking, but the point of doing this, you still get hit by that big empty space sometimes. That's why the question comes up, asking what the point is. The moment that question comes out, I just execute a set action at a set time, and that's how I ignore the question. But the serious fact that there's no meaning to anything is actually my safety line. It's my safety line, but it doesn't mean it's rescue or that everything is fine as long as I have it. It's not that kind of things to worry it. I don't know yet. Also, I try not to lose this big empty space, but I don't run away to a rescue. I feel this energy that say, I want to lose to the empty space. I think it's refusal or just being stubborn. But maybe every realist is fighting the same feeling, because humans just naturally want meaning for life. They know there's no meaning, and they know they shouldn't run away to rescue, so they have this big fight inside themselves. But for me, it's not that I want to run away to rescue. I'm just stopping my daily life from being broken. I'm in the big empty space, getting swallowed by it. What I fear most is giving myself up to this empty space, I have that fear, and I should of it. I realized another thing. The most important thing for me was to keep going. By keeping things going, I can fight off the empty space somehow. But using the word keep going feels a bit wrong. I'm keeping things going, but that word doesn't show everything. It hits me every day. Every day I feel like I'm about to get surrounded by this empty space. It's not because I think nothing matters. It's because I look straight at the empty space, stare right in the center of it, and never run away to a rescue. That's why it tried to hit me. So every second, I follow my route and routine and my daily life to beat it down. It sounds strange, but I will use my actions to fight the empty space. If the empty space hit you, you usually can't even fight back. So first, I build a strong claim so it is zero space to hit me. I don't give it a single second, and I bind myself with rules so nothing strange can get inside. Also, I think it's good to have a habit of doing something that you know it's absolutely their meaning, even just a little bit, as part of your daily life. If you don't have that set up, it gets really painful when you suddenly feel like nothing has meaning. You need that set up. Like I said before, I was born to live only inside this empty space because I was inside a religion with a body like that. It made a friction. Also because I try not to get swallowed by it. I have to stay inside the empty space or I'll break myself. I talk about this a little bit before. It's not that I'm afraid of getting swallowed by the empty space. The empty space means your body. It's like a space with the air, like being thrown in the outer space. It means freedom. There are no barriers in the empty space, so it's free. But for me, that doesn't work well, and the energy tears me apart from the inside when you're in a completely free state with zero wing on you. The energy coming out of you breaks you. Also, like I've been saying, I used to do this show in one piece. Keeping it as one thing instead of breaking it apart helps concentrate my energy. Making it a rule helps keep me together. It stops things from breaking apart, so I don't break. The rules are very tight. The empty space doesn't mean you're down and don't care about anything. It means you have so much drive and can do anything. And if you do that, you'll break yourself. That's why I put rules in myself. I put a heavy load on myself and purpose. Next, there's rules in my mouth that proves nothing can be completely perfect. But people who write to themselves make up a story to live by, thinking something is right, but there's no proof. Everything is imperfect. Even so, I copy these tight rules and follow the routine I choose. That's how I live. But the important part here is that if I say other people live the wrong way and I ended up this way, or if I say I used to be a certain way but overcame it, then it just becomes a cheap story growing up or a story about myself. That makes it very hard. It's extremely difficult to explain how to look at this. Like I said, even if the empty space counts, I won't give myself up to it or giving it a single pieces of me. I agree with the empty space, and I agree that life and everything is zero meaning, but I live with a stance that doesn't give it in error. I know everything has no meaning, but I still do this podcast, and I did strength training every day for over 10 years. Really, my body breaks if I do strength training, so I give it up. When you think about it, freedom is a hard concept, but thinking freedom equals rescue is a lie, especially freedom without a weight of meaning is very dangerous. I make my rules to stop myself from getting swallowed by the empty space and to stop myself from becoming free. I know I'll break if I become free. I'm not free. I tie myself up, and I used to think that was a good thing, but that's what it was. It keeps me away from the empty space, and it keeps me from being free so I can stay together. But these two things mean the exact same thing, because the empty space equals freedom. Also, it seems I'm a person who can't be taken in by meaning or by the empty space. Meaning usually lead you to hope, rescue, or mission. The empty space leads you to giving up, running away to fun things, or the breaking. I talk about I couldn't fit I couldn't fit in a meaning, but I couldn't think all the way in the empty space either. Now, I like to talk about what's happened today. There's a singer, and at first I don't like them. They have one really popular songs, but the singer themselves at a time when they hated singing it. But so many people were saved by that song, so they couldn't complain anymore. Hearing that story moved me, and I used to distract them. I didn't know they sang with that kind of feeling. I really felt for them, even if it's not a super deep thought. But you shouldn't decide things without knowing. People might say negative things about them, but the great part is they push past all that energy. That kind of thing moves me. I don't care much about people, and like I said last time, I don't care about books, and I don't look at things that way. I also I saw about a famous person today who had a problem, but from their story, you can't change the past, so they tried hard to climb back up. This is an idol girl. At first, see them get picked, but you can't help what's happened. So she tried to climb back up again. It feels like you see people like that often. There are probably many people in the world who climb back up like that, but I felt that something was a bit different. You don't really see that with idols. I thought I couldn't do that. In my case, I didn't got the courage. And if I try to go out in a society now, it's different than before. I thought about working at a place for people with developmental disability, and I could do the work the same way, but it's probably different kind of energy. I don't know. For the next stories, some people say God doesn't exist because he didn't save them, like they get sick and he didn't cure the sickness. I wonder if that person is thinking it straight. Maybe they're just acting like a spoiled child, but if they really believe that, I wonder if they're okay. Even a kid in grade school knows that if God is a high-level thing, humans are deciding what's bad like a sickness or what's good like getting better. God isn't gonna do things just to match humans' values. Because I used to do religion. I know some religions say God equals rescue. And they make a definition of God that is absolute. Few think God is someone who reached out say that's just a convenient religion for the followers. He definitely won't cure your sickness or anything like that. Saying God doesn't exist for that reason is a bad argument. Also saying you'll go to hell if you do bad things. A grade school kid knows that can't be true. Stop that. I don't know. But even if you assume there is a high level place like heaven or hell after death, a grade school kid can understand this. Humans use their own bodies to say this is good or this is bad. So you want conveniently go to heaven or hell based on that after you die. I think grade school kids can understand that. So people who believe that are completely brainwashed by religion. So that, but it's just convenience. So people don't do bad things. There was probably a history like that. Next time is strange. There's no such things as time in the first place. We think clocks show time, but that's just a convenient thing made back in the Edo period. In physics, time is just something physics made up, and physics people just talk about it's this way and that way, but it's one view. When you are dreaming, the time doesn't match our usual same sense of time at all. And it's very strange, I think. You've read this before. You look at how long you slept and think the length of also your mind probably makes the start and the end, and this whole sense of time, the past happened and time flows from the past to the future. That feelings tripping and going to different places when you dream. Come to think of it, a brain with developmental disability is like that too. For me, mentally, certain flashback. Usually, as time goes by, things get further away, like distance. But for me, it's not like that. So the way time feels change depending on the person's brain. Other animals probably feel time and space completely differently. For the next story, two artists called Hanahama made a song for a wedding. I think for a friend, that song became a huge hit, and isn't that amazing? They wrote a quick song for a wedding, and it's incredibly good song. I like it too. It's really cool, and sometimes things just drop down from heaven like that. It sounds silly to say it dropped from heaven, though they wrote it from for a friend's wedding, who I were at that wedding and heard such an amazing song. I'd be shocked and think, what is this? Imagining that makes me think it's amazing. If you ask a friend to make a quick song for birthday and you hear an incredibly good song, you'll be totally shocked. Next, Ida was told by a TV host that her brain was melted from the start, meaning she's stupid. After that, she just smiled and laughed brightly. The other day on showroom, she said she's stupid and laughed brightly. I wish I could be. I wish I could be that carefree and happy in a good way. If you have that kind of feeling, you won't ever, you won't have to worry about things. I never think that living that way makes you a better person. That's why it's strange. I purely think that kind of thing. Think it's wonderful. Also, when I was recording earlier, I usually take two recordings, and sometimes it's cut off in the middle. I made a mistake and I didn't take the English audio today, so there was a problem with the order in other episode. It felt like a bug happened. I usually take two recording, and sometimes it's cut off in the middle. I made a mistake and I didn't take the English audio today, so there was a problem with that order. In another episode, it felt like a bug happened, but maybe it's done. When I listen to it, I don't remember talking after that, so I don't know why I fell asleep. I often record at night in the morning. At that time, it wasn't that I fell asleep, where I was thinking deeply about things. When I think, I concentrate so hard that I forgot what I was doing. So if I'm driving a car and stop at a red light, it's possible I might suddenly think, "Who am I? What am I doing here?" Sometimes that happens when I'm eating. I think, what time is it now, and what am I doing? What is this thing in my head? It is a plate. It's not right now. When I was in middle school, a guy 2 years older was really nice to me, and I remember talking to him at the supermarket. He looked smart. I wondered why he talked so earnestly to a stupid kid like me. He talked about his future plan and deep things. I kept thinking about why he did that. Also in the bus, sometime I was talking about a teacher. The person in the next seat was close by. I didn't mean to join. But if the teacher called me behind the gym and got angry at me, I thought it would be better to say they were talking about the different teachers. I had this strange daydream, but which teacher's name I should say. Also, I forgot an important story earlier today. It's hard to say this, but I hate swallowing phlegm, so my spirit built up in my mouth and I fell asleep. I held it a few times, but I fell asleep and dropped and it got on my clothes. I had just changed but I had to change again. Changing is fine, but the check works get wrong too. Especially now when I'm thinking about the show, I don't want to use much time for that, and it sucks because I had just changed. But my sleep hit the towel in the bathroom right after I changed it. I was unlucky then too, but I could change for different reason. I don't know why I used to rescue to change so strongly before, and it makes me worried. But I find that really that the fleece and cardigan are set for a long time. There was no reason, but I kept doing that. I thought it would be fine. It's the same fleece and cardigan, but because teeny difference, I have sensory issue, and it's bothered me while I was eating earlier. Summer is coming soon, so if I have to go with this pattern, and there's no other choice, and I have to keep doing this pattern. That was cruise. But I don't know what will happen from tomorrow. If it bothers me too much, I might change it again. It was a shock. I have I had to change again today. I always kept this fleece and cardigan pattern. Also, I thought a song I heard the song sounded like another song. It was a Nogizaka song, so I found out quickly which was good. I felt curious, but that's Hanahama song again, and it's bothered me yesterday too. When there's similar song, it's bothered me for yesterday's song. I found my song at the end, but I couldn't find the other one. There's no answer, so I can't check it, which is a bit annoying. Next is bad food. Today was chicken. I think it was seasoned with salt and pepper from the supermarket. It was juicy chicken and tasted good. Also cabbage and mac and potato salad. So it is completely zero taste, but I can eat it and think it tastes good. So I don't care much about whether it has a taste right now. I started doing that at some point. But like I said before, my clothes bothered me during the meal. Also, fuki and sasagi and pork. The pork this time was good. Tingly cut pork. But also when things are hard, it's good to think that Earth is so small in the universe, and your problem inside that small place are teeny things. But it's not just that. That kind of rescue is only short rescue. If you think one step further, it feels like it becomes a real rescue, really, because if you say it's tiny thing and in the universe it's fine, then that theory means doing a crime as a teeny thing too, and contradiction happens somewhere. It's strange that can be a rescue, but it can also lead to giving up and thinking nothing matters. I was watching a video today, and a girl who plays a piano and got sick, and she couldn't do that song at the rap show. She was crying. She felt a big empty space, and those times humans shed tears to keep themselves together. So for me, that defense tape is broken somewhere, like a screw is missing, or maybe I'm just not a clever person who can get through things by crying to get over it for the moment. But this person gets through it for the moment. I think they have a good setup. If I were a host for something, I wonder if I look at the paper tell the presentation or look like I have zero space and start with smile. I daydream, but that I used to see that there are a lot videos when I did religion. So I often think about what I do. It can be anything, but if I were a host, I just acting cool in my head, and I wonder why I act cool in my daydreams. Also, an idol said she saw many hosts on the radio, but this group is lucky, and she thought it was wonderful to have them as host. Was the first time on the radio. I daydream about that. Also, I suddenly thought about, but Mr. Tanishima, when the things got tough, he felt like he had completely zero connection to meaning. He never came to my house, and he didn't seem worried about me back then either. I often think about what that teacher was about. Also, I think I was helped a lot by Miss Tanishima when I was high school student. Of course, I'm thankful he looked very serious, but he had humor too, and he had a perfect balance where he didn't look silly. Probably because people trust him. I was thinking about that. It's night now. I'm recording in the middle of the night. Hope and rescue are differently fake pictures, but money and social systems actually work. Hope works in your mind in the same way too. But the difference between money, social rules, and hope is that people believe hope is there to make life easier. It's just something humans made, but people believe life actually is a meaning. That's part is different. Of course, I never think that's wrong. I think that's natural. But what I can say for sure is the fact that it's just a fake picture. I could say that clearly. Next, do you know the word group illusion? It probably means a group mind thing made by many people. A fake picture made by that. Countries are like that. And many home lives are believing you can trust the family. Also, wanting to cheer for Japan at the Olympics. If you're Japanese, you wanna cheer for Japan, and if you're American, you wanna cheer for America. That's kind of thing. So I realize I have group illusion too. I don't believe religion are things that change life in a big way, but for things you can get exist, but it's in entertainment. I probably believe in a fake picture in a first place country, but when I watched Olympics, I'd think, why do I have to cheer just because it's the same country? But basically, I'm cheering, so I believe in it. Last night, I was desperately trying to find a good word for what I call stories, fake pictures. Words like rescue, illusion, fiction, fiction, for single arrive, I couldn't find a good word, and it's not that I don't believe any of it. So there's no words that fit perfectly. On the other side, it seems there's no concept for the opposite. There's no concept of the opposite of what I just said. You just have to call it the empty space, even if you use philosophy words like realism. It doesn't work well. Also, during my meal yesterday, I was remembering the taste of something I ate when I was in grade school or middle school. I think I was eating my usual food. It's strange also. It's something I was remembering during the meal, but maybe I think about various things because I concentrate during meals. I was insensitive, insensitive, and I caught a cold during the school trip and went to the hospital. I didn't wear a mask then. I think everyone distracted. The friend who came to my room to get me, the teacher and the people in the group, really, I wonder why I acted that way. It was the same when I went to cram school, but nobody said anything to me. And I was remembering that today too. I noticed I was having two daydreams. A dream where father there is daughter she should at least put on some makeup. Also, a guy from the double S team bond in me from behind. I wonder if I should have said sorry in a big voice or what. What it would be like if this guy was the captain of my club in middle school during school lunch. I told a younger girl in front of me that her hair looked good today. And after that, I said this teacher is good at guitar, and I wondered if the teacher was happy I was having a daydream like that.